talking basketball. They're fucking dumb as shit. They talk about basketball, but they will make dumb ass jokes.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Pod Don't Lie with Sam and Stav. Coming at you live, middle of my brother's bachelor party edition. If you guys are looking at the video right now, you were seeing a haggard man before your eyes. I took a picture to send to my brother Sam. I looked like a Ren and Stimpy close up. I'm feeling rough. I'm looking rough.
Yeah, we both look different than when we saw each other last night.
We did a great show, so this has basically become the Bachelor podcast, but we did a great show Saturday, 6 o'clock, a nice little matinee, which is nice, dude. By the end of that, 6 p.m. once the audience comes in is a little weird, but by like the middle of the show, after a little bit, they get warmed up. It takes a little more to warm them up, but when they're warm, they're good.
For sure.
It was a fun show. Yeah, we were both looking sprightly. You know, it was 8 p.m. on a Saturday. We had our whole nights ahead of us, and I have since ingested, so much meat. I got a big-ass ribeye. I had some tartare.
Nice.
You know, we went buck wild.
It was a good steakhouse?
Really good steakhouse. This place, Rocco Steakhouse. I had never heard of it, and I was just like looking for a place that could accommodate a big-ass group of...
If you're known for steak in New York and you're able to stay open, you probably have to be pretty good.
Dude, it was insanely good.
I'm looking it up. I've never
and it's run by Italians. They were just... I love... And like real off-the-boat immigrants, they really do not... Body positivity has not gotten to the rest of the world yet. I'll put it that way. Because a lot of my friends, my brother, me... A lot of my brother's friends are like big powerlifting dudes, or just like, you know, also some of us are fat as hell. So we had a girthy group, and we had like a reservation for 12, and they sat us at this one table, and it was like 2 in the way, and then these Italians like, we'll move you to the back table. He was like, maybe next time take a reservation for 14, 15. You know, he's telling us we're too fat for our seat.
I'm looking up the steaks right here. They look very good. Dude,
unbelievable. Like, they age their own steak, which usually I see shit like that. I think it's always like bullshit. Like, you know, just for the menu, something cool to put in cursive. But I'm a big steak guy. Whatever they did to their meat was honestly top 3 steak of my life. You know?
Wow.
And I went to this crazy Japanese steakhouse in Tokyo that was expensive as hell, and I went to Major Domo and had a Wagyu ribeye. Other than those two, though, I'm putting Rocco at the very top of the list.
Wow. So I remember they had that New York Times article trashing Peter Luger's.
Right.
And who knows, man? Maybe Peter Luger's just phoning it in, but I'll say this. They fucking earned it, buddy.
Yeah.
Because years of being just killer. Look, as a Jew, it does not feel great to be in those beer hall vibes, those German beer hall vibes. But that's how good it is. And Peter Luger's a classic. I kind of hated them trashing it. And a lot of people, like, I guess that's my TikTok algorithm. It'll be a dude being like, does Peter Luger's live up to the hype? And he's like, it did not.
Yeah.
It didn't live up to the hype. And you're like, fuck you fucking fake ass influencer.
That's right.
So,
fuck him.
I mean, as we're talking last night, if we're talking like, you know, the vibe, I think Keen's has the coolest vibe.
Yes. And I tried to get to Keen's because, that definitely feels like where they made some like backroom deals for like where the railroads were going to be. Like that far back. That place feels so old.
Yeah, there was definitely some shady politicians in that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I know they had a whole episode of Billions in there when it was like Paul Giamatti and his other guy, and he's like kind of being like, you're a bitch if you don't order mutton like me, and the guy orders mutton, and it was like an alpha move, and I was like, all right.
I love how much alphaing happens in Billions.
But it's like the ultimate, it's at a steakhouse you get alpha.
Yeah.
You can't get any harder alpha'd.
No, absolutely not. It was fucking incredible. And so we did that at the comedy show, got steaks, had a couple drinks, had a lot of edibles. I bought my brother a novelty bong.
Did you booze at the steakhouse as well?
A little bit, yeah.
What do you do?
I just went with a. I went old fashioned actually.
Oh,
I'm in a steakhouse.
Don
I want to feel
classy.
Exactly, Don Draper. Exactly. Everybody, a couple of my friends were going martini, and then
I think a martini and a steak is hard to beat. That's like
absolutely.
But I mean, whiskey and steak is pretty damn.
But I'm
cool
I
too.
don't. I just there's something about I've just never been a martini guy, even though I like the pomp and circumstance. I like the little fucking glass. It's cute, but
I hate that glass because once you've had two, you ain't making it across the room with one of those things. I don't like the pressure of that glass. But
maybe that's good. Maybe that's good on the design, where it's like
I think that's what they're doing.
You have to keep your fine motor skills.
Yo, I'll tell you, man. I was drinking them at the Cellar on Friday, and Liz orders them in a pint glass. Liz, the manager of the Comedy Cellar, and I'm just like,
that's fucking wild.
This is an aggressive order, but I mean, I guess that's how you do it. I mean, I guess I order like a Manhattan on the rocks. You may as well just do that with they serve those up anyway. I mean, I hate that. I don't like the up for anything but the martini because it just feels weird. It feels like you're being a little too showy and dainty. Just fucking get you real drink.
I'll have a Jack and Coke in a martini glass. Can I have your finest shot of Jaeger? Can I have Jägermeister and Sprite in a martini glass?
That is a good order. They're just like, sir, you're absolute garbage. We can't waste a martini glass on you.
Can I have a Red Bull vodka? Can I get a vodka Red Bull on a martini glass, please? It's my bitch's birthday.
and then she goes, "You may embarrass me." And you go, "Shut up, you hole." That's how that dude talks to his girlfriend. Shut up, hole.
We're celebrating. She dropped the charges against me this morning. Anyway, so it was nice, man. We had
We're celebrating.
Fuck, man. Yeah, so we had a nice one, man. It was great. We also got to watch, actually. This is nice because it was a really nice place and it was like classy, but they put us in a back room that had a giant TV.
Ooh.
And so it was perfect because we got, I mean, it wasn't perfect because Duke won, but we got to watch the Duke game. So it was actually
that's a guy's
perfect.
Night.
It was a bros night. I mean, literally, this is like the number. And then we get back to the Airbnb. We're getting really fucked up, and then this is the problem because there's like it was a big group.
What are you getting fucked up on?
This is when we're smoking weed. I mean, there's some beers going around, but I was just mostly getting high out of my mind, and I woke up today just absolutely stoned 11 minutes ago. But
Me too. I literally flipped this thing on.
But so we're sitting there, and then there's a big group. So you never, I was thinking like, oh, maybe we'll watch a dumb action movie, like something like just to like, that everyone can sort of agree on. And then we're on Netflix, and we just throw on a Marlon Wayans. Marlon Wayans did a Groundhog's Day called Naked, where he just wakes up in the elevator of his. It's very unclear. I mean, it's his wedding day. And to teach him, the lesson is very unclear. I mean, what you're supposed to get out of this movie is very unclear. But basically, he wakes up in an elevator naked every day. And it's just a really shitty Groundhog's Day that makes absolutely no sense.
A lot of stuff rips off Groundhog's Day. There's a lot of time loop shit out there.
Well, it's become a genre, I think, at this point.
That's true. I mean, there's like the Natasha Lyonne thing she did. On Netflix, the series. It was good. It was fun.
Russian.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a fun show. Russian Doll.
I never saw it actually.
Yeah, it's a great soundtrack.
Okay.
But it was fun. She's got like a good vibe. She's
cool. And then there's also have you ever seen Boss Level? That was like the action movie version of it. It was really good actually.
No, I never saw it.
Dude,
And then
honestly,
they did Palm Springs too.
Palm Springs, yeah.
That was good. That was fun.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. I think it's just become a genre, and then Marlon saw that. Dude, there is nothing I like more than a fucking late period Marlon Wayans vehicle. They're so good. And we started watching, we didn't get through it because we passed out. We started watching, I think it's called Sextuplets, where Marlon goes Eddie Murphy mode and plays all six siblings.
I've never heard of any of these.
No,
he's
Netflix
getting
originals
buzzed for something because we have the same agent, and they were really talking him up. And she was like, he's going to get nominated for this movie. I don't think it was six quintuplets, but he's in some dramatic movie coming out that he got a lot of buzz for. I don't know. Get
out of here, really?
No, well, dude, he was in talks to play Pryor, like because he actually can act is the thing, and he kind of if you look close, you're like, shit, he does kind of look like...
It's funny because in these shit movies, he gives himself like 3 dramatic monologues, and they just make no sense in the midst of these. It'll be like he's getting like, sexually assaulted by a man, and it's a joke or something.
How about, did you ever see like Little Man?
Little Man. Little Man's the craziest because they literally play a rape for laughs in that. Because the little man
was that with what? Yeah, what was what? Oh yeah. Oh, and White Chicks is another one where you're like
White Chicks banger. That one's incredible. That's what I'm saying. It's the spirit of these movies.
I've seen all these movies.
And then have you ever seen 50 Shades of Black? His 50 Shades of Grey spoof?
No.
It's so fucking stupid.
Scary Movie is solid though.
Scary Movie's great.
Scary Movie holds up, I feel like. I mean, that Regina Hall in that movie theater scene is like one of the funniest scenes.
Yeah. No, Scary Movie's awesome. But no, if you want to treat yourselves, guys, get really fucking high and watch a Marlon Wayans movie you that seems fake. And it'll be a great time. How poorly written it is, how little anything makes sense. But you know what? They get weirdly good casts. I bet you because they shoot their parts in like 2 days or something. But
why? Who's in it?
The fake Denzel from the Allstate commercials. He plays the he plays.
I like it. This is a good cast to you.
That's a good cast, dude. He's that guy. The fake Denzel's big, dude. And Regina Hall's actually in it. She's awesome. She plays the wife.
She's hilarious.
And then his mom is like this. She did the voice for the PJs. She's great. I forget her name. She's been like every black movie ever. I'm blanking on her name, but I recognized literally her voice from the PJs. Plays his mom. It's a great...
Sextuplets.
Yeah, you gotta fucking see
Dude,
that.
Molly Shannon is in it.
Molly Shannon's in it, yep. She plays his boss that wants to fuck him. Yeah, dude. It's fucking good shit. Anyway, so we watched that, and then we came back home, and then a select group of us, 4 of us came back to my place, and we were like, should we just go to the strip club without the guy whose bachelor party it is? We were just like, we almost just did the fucking dirtbag coalition where we were like, we were the only ones up at 2 a.m. and we were like, fuck it, let's just, but we ended up coming home, getting higher, and watching Death Wish to end the evening. So
I didn't see that either.
Death Wish, the original, the Charles Bronson movie?
Never saw it.
Oh, dude, that's an original cornerstone to the revenge genre. It's pretty funny.
Oh, they remade it with Bruce Willis. Man, it seems like Bruce Willis has been in like so many direct to like.
Yeah.
I guess there's no direct to video anymore because everything's streaming. But you're like, for some reason, you don't hear about him.
Yeah,
what's he doing?
Yeah, direct to Tubies. He's been in a lot of direct to Tubi.
You're like Fubo TV. I thought that was just for sports, but I guess Bruce Willis is in a thriller.
Yeah.
Dude, we. I'm trying to think. I was watching Dirty Harry the other day, and it's like. It's so fucking ridiculous, over the top. Like, it's literally scene 1. Clint Eastwood is just like fucking yelling at the mayor.
Yeah.
It's the first scene. He's like, I'll do what I want and you do it. And you're just like, already?
You're just, and also he's just like a regular cop. Right?
Yeah,
he's like a detective or something in that. He's not like.
But he doesn't. But here's a twist. He doesn't play by the rules.
That's very interesting.
Never seen that before. This guy bends the rules. He does whatever it takes.
Yeah.
It's also a scene where he just like there's a bank robbery and he just open fires on like 6 black dudes, and it's supposed to be like badass, but now you watch, you're like, this is kind of fucked up. And he's like, go for the gun, punk. And he's like, I'm like, you're pointing the gun at him. He's not gonna make it if he does.
Yeah.
And thank God the guy doesn't go for the gun, but
yeah, he's literally just goading. He would beg to fucking kill anyone on the job.
That's really the whole Dirty Harry thing. Is like, he's like, oh, this is a cop who wants to murder people, and we're rooting for him.
Yeah, dude, makes sense to me. Anyway, yeah, a lot of great dumb stuff, and we haven't finished. The bachelor party weekend continues through tonight, where. We are going to, me, my brothers, and a bunch of his friends and my friends, we're going to go watch Kyrie's home debut.
It's exciting.
Against the Hornets. The Hornets played like trash against us.
I bet that's a hot ticket right now, by the way.
Absolutely. We got lucky.
Yeah.
We absolutely got lucky.
Mayor Adams coming through the clutch, probably just for the Yankees.
Literally because of the Yankees. Yeah.
Because Aaron Judge won't get fucking vaccinated. It's hilarious how much bad press Kyrie got, and Aaron Judge is just going to be like, oh, yeah, he didn't want the vax.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's what's so funny about basketball. It's like somehow they lost the PR war with vaccines, even though they're the only league. They're a league that got 99% vaccinated. It's like, that's great. Like it's not a big deal that a couple motherfuckers, especially a motherfucker like Kyrie, who's like, he just wants to make a point. He's a weird dude.
Yeah, and also, like, do you see, like, shouts out to Kevin Durant for just knowing how to deal with it crazy, because Kyrie is like, I'm definitely re-signing with the Nets, and it's like, you know, by the way, I'm sure James Harden wishes he stayed there now.
Where, with the Nets?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, because now that Kyrie's playing, it's like he's probably like, I mean, who knows? Maybe he doesn't care, but I think that's his best shot to win a ring if the three of them are playing together, for sure.
I guess. I mean,
they just fucked up giving up Curry. They really shouldn't have thrown in Curry. They should have been like, that's our final offer. Get nothing for him. That's what they should have done.
I don't know, man. That's kind of hard to do. That's kind of hard to do because look what's going on with the Nets right now. It's like Ben Simmons, they probably, who knows, they might have even known something about his back because, like, see how valuable Ben Simmons is in this. It's a pure, they're completely sacrificing
who do they get to get, who do they get? I mean, the Sixers need more shooting.
Yeah, I mean, they don't get anybody is the reality. I mean, it's too late.
Yeah.
So, you know, even getting somebody off the fucking scrap heap, that's over.
Yeah.
So basically, it's. I mean, look, I think they're going to play. We've talked about it. You see their personnel. I think they're just going to play grinded out, fucking kind of shitty to watch basketball in the playoffs. I mean, that's their best bet.
Their best bet is that they get refs who are like calling slap happy bullshit, and both Harden and Embiid take 20 free throws a game, and we're watching like this sucks to watch.
Yeah. But you know what? Both Harden and Embiid can also put together. They can actually go get those. Like, I know the whistles tighten up a little bit in the playoffs, but I don't know. Those are two players that can get whistle. If it's going to work for two guys, it's going to work for those two guys.
They're two of the best getting the line players probably ever.
Yeah. So, and listen, the Sixers, it feels dysfunctional, especially because they got fucked up by the, ever since they got fucked up by the Nets, it kind of ruined the honeymoon. And but as having said that, even though they've had some weird games, you know, they barely beat the Lakers without LeBron. All their starters were playing.
What are the Lakers? I mean, this is so weird that it's going to be like a play-in game for the Lakers. It's so fucking weird, dude.
Yeah. And look, it could be a playing game. The Spurs are only 1.5 games behind them. But basically what I'm trying to say with the Sixers is, you know,
they fucked up the Clippers the other night, but the Clippers are kind of depleted. And Harden did play well.
Yeah, and so what I'm saying is that's like there's like this negative energy swirling, but look at the fucking standings now. They've backed their way into the 1 seed somehow.
But the knock on Harden isn't can he play meaningless basketball well. It's can he play against the best teams, and that's why you just want to see him fuck up the Nets in a regular season game.
Sure,
just show us, because we know Harden can fuck up teams, bad teams. He's maybe the king of fucking up bad teams.
Yeah. Absolutely, he's the king of low hanging fruit for sure.
A lot of people are saying it's weird too. Like Embiid had that whole narrative, and now it looks like he's not going to get that MVP.
Yeah. I mean, but that's the thing. I think this stuff is gonna. This race feels very close to me in a way that. But look, I think at this very moment, Philly's the 1 seed, Denver's the 6 seed, Milwaukee's the 4 seed. In this moment, I think Embiid sort of has it, and I think that's how it goes up and down. And I think no one wants to make a final decision.
Jokic has played 7 more games than him, though. That counts for something.
I guess. I think as long as they've both played.
But if durability is an issue, then Embiid will never win an MVP.
I don't think it necessarily is an issue as long as you get over a certain threshold. I think missing games, as long as you miss a
Durant amount of games is too
exactly.
many, but yeah.
I think Embiid this season has not missed an unreasonable amount of games to be considered, and I think it's kind of a pass-fail thing. I don't think.
And also, like in terms of leadership, you kind of got to tip your hat to Embiid right now because they were in a pretty dysfunctional situation and he handled it like a boss. I was watching some of the clips of him on Draymond's podcast, and it's so funny how Draymond's just trashing the media for creating these fucked up narratives, and then immediately is like, so what happened with Ben? Like he's literally digging right after being like, they're disgusting for what they do. And then but Draymond is very good at being your boy, and he's such a cool personality that you can tell every player wants to be liked by him.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I think he's going to be obviously great at media, but you're right. There's a little bit of the Howard Stern thing where you're just telling him stuff that you're like, why am I even doing this?
Mark Maron too. It's kind of like this dude's so kind of on the edge that you kind of want to be like, I want to tell it to him.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I don't know, man. I do think with Philly and everything, it's the East is just it just shifts so much, and you already see it from the last time we talked. Everything shifted. Where I was like, I thought the Bucks so the Bucks lose to the Grizzlies, and that loss because the Nets beat the Heat, and that if the Bucks had won that one, they would be the number 1 seed right now. Right, or they'd be the 2 seed. Philly would still be the 1 seed.
The Heat have been on a bit of a downward swing. They've lost 4 in a row. One that they lost to the Knicks. I was kind of like, why are we winning right now? Yeah, I feel like annoying. The fucking owner in Major League. I'm like, stop it.
Yeah.
But for for pure motives, unlike hers. But, quickly just decides to catch fire at this point of the season. I'm like, Emmanuel.
I know. The Knicks are really breaking our hearts. They can't, we're just going to be straight up in no man's land.
There's nothing worse than being an 11th seed in the NBA. There's nothing worse than we're ahead of the fucking Wizards now. This is so dumb.
This sucks.
And then, so the Heat have lost 4 straight. They had the Jimmy and Udonis fight, which was weird. We talked about that in the Patreon. And I'm not really worried about the Heat because I think they're such a good team. But, I mean, dude, right now the Nets play the Hornets. The Nets win, which if they've got KD and Kyrie at home, you kind of got to think they're going to pull this off.
Well, so right now, you mean the way it's seeded? Or you mean tonight?
The Nets are playing the Hornets tonight. And I'm saying they're already a game ahead of them. This could distance themselves from them.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the thing. Cleveland's fallen into the fucking play-in, and Toronto is just in the playoffs. And honestly, the way it breaks down right now is
Toronto is fucking – give them credit. We didn't have them in the playoffs in our predictions.
No, not at all. And, I mean, it just goes to show you what a fucking good organization does. And it's somebody with a plan and, these guys that all, fit. It's kind of weird to see almost like a system in the NBA. You'd think the talent is too big to do that, but – fucking Toronto, dude, they get their kind of guys, and people would say this for a while about Oklahoma City, where it's Sam Presti just likes tall guys with crazy wingspans and spans, and we can teach them how to shoot, and everybody mocks the Thunder for that because it never works. But the Raptors got to do the exact same thing, and I don't know if it's probably just a combination of Masai has a better eye for talent, maybe. But also, you see their coaching staff. Nick Nurse has always been on that staff, even as an assistant, and they must have insane developmental system because
clearly
it's just that is the biggest advantage. They turned there's been 3 seasons in a row that any other franchise would have just crumbled or just it would have been we have to tank We just don't have the horses. We don't have anything. And, Toronto just brings up guys from their fucking G League every year, it feels like. And half of them become real role players. It's fucking nuts, dude.
Well, also, shout out to Pascal Siakam, who's, kind of quietly become a beast again. He's having a really good season. He was, ever since that bubble, we talk about it.
I know, we've talked about it. I'm really happy for him because that's, going into the season, it was damn, I really hope Pascal puts it together because if not, then the bubble excuses end. Because as far as I was concerned, I said it. It's this is just a guy who clearly just dealt better with a fucking routine and having to play in fucking Orlando and then Tampa. They didn't get to be home for a whole year also. So yeah, I'm very happy for Pascal and fucking Toronto, man. I hope I'm gonna be at Toronto. Actually, I have shows. And I kind of hope there's a day There's a day
I bet that arena would be fun. I actually performed in that arena once, opening for Schumer years ago.
Whoa.
It's so crazy to be walking through and just see like We Believe, and it's like Kyle Lowry high-fiving DeMar DeRozan. I'm like, I'm telling jokes in here.
That's fucking crazy. Yeah, I'm there.
Beautiful arena.
I'm there the 15th and the 16th.
The arena where Jeremy Lin hit the game winner on Calderon, the famous spin around.
What was that show like? You're telling jokes in front of that many people? That's fucking nuts, dude.
15,000 or something.
That's crazy.
Stupid. Great time. Yeah, Toronto, great city. I mean, right now the way the seeding is going in the East, the Celtics are like, I mean, they were so hot.
I know.
They're
it's
just
insane.
They're just
pissing
red
me the
hot.
Fuck off.
Well, they're tied with the Bucks, but I think they have the tiebreaker. They have the
tiebreak, yeah.
So I mean, this is kind of crazy. The Celtics.
Yeah,
Raptors
the Celtics
in the first round. I think the Celtics kill the Raptors. I think the Bucks kill the Bulls.
But you know what? I love the way because right now it's Philly's the 1 seed versus probably Cleveland. I would guess.
Philly's the 1 seed? Well, and you think the Nets will be the 7 against the Heat right now?
Yeah. And then it's like
Nets Heat first round is insane.
Then if the Bucks are the 4 seed, that means they get to play the Sixers instead of the Heat or the Nets. This is the ideal situation for Giannis. Not that he, that would be fucking sick. Because I think we fucked the Heat up I think we fucked the Sixers up, and then the other 2 teams will fucking, they can battle it out, Miami and Brooklyn. I would rather play the Sixers than them first, but let one of those motherfuckers knock the other out. So that would be fucking sick. But here's the thing. Here's what we know. That's just not how this shit works. It's just fucking bedlam. And that's what's so exciting about this last week. Shit is going to shift all over the fucking place. I'm a little pissed because I was hoping the Bucks would just be completely ascendant. And look, who knows? They might still run the table here at the end, but
they're doing that classic championship team shit where they don't seem like they have that regular season sense of urgency.
Right.
Giannis, I think he started this last year when they won. He was pacing himself differently, where it wasn't like, we don't need the 1 seed. That's kind of what champions. I mean, you remember the Detroit Pistons when it was like Chauncey, Rip, Tayshaun, and the Wallaces. They would do this a lot. The Celtics would do this a lot. Like teams that kind of just knew what it took to win.
Yeah, and teams
themselves differently.
And teams that expect to be there year after year after year, right? Where it's like at this point for the Bucks, a deep playoff run has. I mean, basically since Giannis hit that level, they've made real runs the whole time. So, yeah, you're probably right. I just wanted him because I just do think the MVP and the scoring title is up for grabs for him if he wanted to do it, if he wanted to try it. But maybe
I don't think that stuff means that much, especially when you won 2 MVPs. I don't think you really care that much about that shit.
You're probably right, but I don't know, man.
What sounds cooler, scoring title or MVP? I think that's what he's kind of hungry for more than anything.
MVP or scoring? I mean, he's never had a scoring title. That would be cool.
Yeah,
that would be cool to just have one and never do it again.
It's
like you don't get the opportunity to do this.
It's looking weird right now in the West. I mean, it's so funny that the Lakers have to play the Pelicans.
Dude, here's the thing: the Lakers, like, they might fall out of the play-in because the Lakers always have, because it's such a big TV market, they always save them for after football, right? Like as a programming thing. So they always have to play. So their first half schedule is usually really easy. So, dude, look at who the Lakers have left. It's something insane. I looked this up. It was fucking crazy. They might get out of the fucking play-in, seriously.
And the Spurs, you say? Well, they've got the Pelicans tonight, which is a must-win, obviously. The Pelicans are right behind. Everything's a must-win from
listen to this. Mavs, Jazz.
Yeah. Pelicans twice. The Nuggets.
But the Pels are playing pretty good, yeah.
The Suns, Nuggets, the Warriors, and then the Thunder and the Nuggets. I mean, yeah, none of these are
Thunder
easy.
Is the only, like, easy game, but the Thunder beat the Lakers twice already.
Well, the Thunder are still scrappy. That's the thing about them. Like, are they good? No, but they played. I mean, they've got guys like Lou Dort and Gilgeous Alexander. These aren't, like, soft players, you know?
Well, I think Lou Dort's out. I think they shut down Lou Dort for the season.
He's done?
Yeah.
I never watched the Thunder.
Yeah, but yeah, either way, you're right.
I love Lou Dort, dude. It's my guy.
When is Davis even fucking supposed to come back? This is from the All-Star big man could be suiting up for games by the first week of April at the earliest. Sources tell ESPN.
But then it's like, you know, I feel so bad for him because he's a dude like. if he gets any injury now, even if it's like an ankle sprain, they're going to be like, every fan's like, fuck you,
You're made of glass, you fucking cocksucker.
Laker fans are such spoiled fucks. You already won a championship with this guy. He played incredibly in the bubble.
He really did. Yeah, I mean,
Josh Giddey's out for the season, too.
Oh, that sucks.
That guy's fun.
He is fun. Yeah, they hit on him for sure.
Wiseman as well. A lot of guys are just done.
Yeah. Zion, Wiseman. I mean, at this point, it's like, why would you even try and play right now?
Yeah.
I mean, I would have liked to see Wiseman just literally catch a ball.
Yeah, just for the Warriors to have another look, just to be able to like play big if they want to.
But he's functionally a rookie who barely played any college.
Yeah.
You're not going to rely on him in the playoffs. You know what I mean?
No, but I don't know. Would have been fun to see what he had.
It would have been fun for us to see him, but honestly, as the team, I get it. I
can't believe Steph is out. They must be so. I mean, they can't catch a break. I mean, that's what happens when you get older. You got Steph, Clay, and Draymond who are not babies anymore, and it's like Chris Paul. We talked about. You got to kind of save it. You got to have some luck. You hear Draymond talk about how so much luck goes into this shit. This
oh my God,
3 times.
Absolutely, their first one. I mean, literally. Kelly Olynyk yanks Kevin Love's arm out of his socket in the first round. The dastardly piece of shit. Kyrie breaks his fucking kneecap.
LeBron's second best player is Matthew Dellavedova.
Matthew Dellavedova goes off for 20 in the finals. It's like, yeah, you guys got fucking lucky that year. That was before you had KD.
But don't you think they're beating the Raptors if KD's not hurt?
Sure, that's true. It comes around. It comes around.
But that's a more meaningful one because you won that one without KD. That one is that one's more important to them.
Absolutely. And then you robbed us of the rubber match by signing Durant. You pieces of shit. I wanted that rubber match so bad. Apparently, Chris Paul's coming back from his fucked up thumb on Thursday, so that's interesting. So he's ready to go.
And they're balling without him.
Yeah, I hope they take it easy. But I guess
Monty Williams Coach of the Year.
Dude, Coach of the Year is interesting because I think there's a lot of we were talking about Monty is definitely they're so far ahead and they've survived both a Booker injury and a Chris Paul injury. I think that's interesting. I would have said Billy Donovan earlier. They're
60-14 right now. Yeah. It's hard not to give it to
You know
them.
what? I think it has to be especially because Tibbs got it last year. And I think in hindsight, if we did a 2-year sample of their coaching career years last year, I think the more lasting success will be felt in Phoenix. I don't know. What do you think, Sam?
Jury's still out, brother. Let me tell you something. Also, you're not going to like this, but you know who is a candidate is Doc Rivers.
Get the fuck out of here.
With all the drama they've had to be the 1 seed at the end of this year, if they finish a 1, I'm not saying he's going to get it, but you're denying that he's a candidate with.
You're right.
With the second best player on their team just sitting out as like a fuck you. Undeniably, he's a candidate because it's not just that you're missing him; it's the fucking headache of missing him. It's all that shit. Even though we could argue it might be Doc's fault.
Yeah, it's like First of all,
Steve Nash never would have done what Doc did.
And he's supposed to be the fucking that was part of his appeal.
Nash
was the guy who can get through these stars.
There's different types of coaches, right? There's the old school tough guy, Doc Rivers. I mean, he was a tough player. That was
also Doc. Okay, I know. I hate to cut you.
That was his MO though. He was like,
sure.
I remember when the Knicks got him, they're like, oh shit, we got another badass in Doc Rivers.
Yeah.
He was down to fight. And then you get Steve Nash, who's like very much like, even as a player, was very much like lifting guys up. That was more his vibe.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just saying Doc Rivers, what he's done has been like, okay, Joel, save us. Like that. I could do a lot of the coach. Look, and you can also see he's not being very imaginative with his new players. I think that's why the Sixers have
Monty is my pick. I'm just saying we're talking about candidates right now.
And I'm talking about Doc Rivers is a fucking right place, right time type of candidate. Because what kind of coach, what maneuvering has he really done? He's just had a great player carry him, and now when he's gotten players, he hasn't coached his little fucking nuts off at all. He's coached his nuts on, in fact.
I heard Callie Rivers on Bill Simmons' podcast. She's very good. She's very well spoken.
Yeah.
And she really knows hoops. She talks really well about basketball.
She's she's in 2 basketball families.
Crazy.
It is crazy to go to be a Rivers and a Curry. But anyway, what the fuck was I just gonna say about so other Coach of the Year candidates? I mean, Spoelstra jumps out at you. Before this weird little skid, I would have said Spoelstra if they just, held on to the 1 seed. But then this has been kind of strange, but I don't think it necessarily knocks him out of contention.
Who else is in the mix then? I'm the Jenkins for the Grizzlies, right?
I think that's who I was going to say. Jenkins is the one that would give me some pause for Monty. But the thing is, if Monty had gotten it last year, I think Jenkins, his ascendancy would kind of stand out a little more. But I just do think Monty, unfortunately, is a little owed one.
Also,
but dude, here's
Chris
the thing.
Paul for a stretch, I think Monty.
But you know what?
It.
The same Memphis was missing John Morant. Honestly, I got to think about this because what is more impressive? Who's got more talent? Phoenix has more talent. Phoenix has a better roster. Phoenix just was in the they have experience. So,
but this is a lot about narrative and about whose time it is. And we're talking, it's like when a guy wins an Oscar and you're like, yeah, Leo was better in Wolf of Wall Street than he was in The Revenant. But The Revenant was his time. This is Monty's time.
I guess you're right.
Dude, he's got 8. They're 8.5 games ahead of the Grizzlies.
I'm just saying the Grizzlies
8.5 games. The Grizzlies worth something.
The Grizzlies sometimes play better without John Morant, which is fucking insane. That has a lot to do with coaching.
Well, maybe that's not a good thing. Maybe you should, if you're a great coach, you should be playing better with your star player.
Oh my fucking God. What the hell? I just say an impressive stat and you're like, it's actually bad. That's very impressive, you motherfucker. That means he knows how to scheme and take advantage.
Hey, Stav.
Create the same advantages. That means he understands how to create the same advantages on the second team. But I don't give a fuck. Fuck you. Taylor, I don't know. Taylor Jenkins got that nice beard. What's more impressive?
I'm not asking whose face you'd rather sit on. I'm asking who should be Coach of the Year, brother.
I honestly respect Monty too much to even joke about.
Monty is. It's his time.
He's professorial.
60 wins at the end of the year is a huge achievement.
Let alone,
they've got 8 games left. 8 games. Brother.
That's crazy. You're right. Yeah, I mean,
if
I guess
they
you're
finish
right.
with 63 wins, that's insane.
You're right. I think you're right. I think it has to go to Monty, but I think I would understand the Taylor Jenkins vote for sure.
This is a regular season award. The Suns have been by far the most impressive regular season team. They have 60 wins. The next best team in the West is 52. The best team in the East has 48 wins.
Hold on. You don't think what Memphis did?
Or 46 wins, rather. 47.
If you weigh it for the talent each team has, you don't think what Memphis did is very fucking impressive?
I'd probably rank him 2 or 3, is what I say.
Because, okay, they have Ja, but
I think it's incredibly impressive. They're a very good team. They also, I do think their talent has become underrated. They're a deep team of dudes who are athletic and play D. There's a lot. So
you think there's a little bit of they drafted so well that it hasn't really caught up to that the coach gets a little more than he deserves.
No, I think he's a great coach, but I also think that's a good roster.
Absolutely.
Anderson's really good. Deadman's really good.
Yeah, and even though some of these guys are second round picks, they were
Brandon Clark's really good. There are a lot of really good players.
You're right.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to take away, but I am saying no, they're a really good team. Jaren Jackson is a really good basketball.
Played great. Yeah, Jaren Jackson hit another level defensively. Ja hit another level in general. You're right.
And he's a shooter, Jaren Jackson. He's got a weird ass release, but that shit goes down. He's got this almost you rarely see big dudes with a push shot, and he's kind of got that.
He does have a little bit.
It looks kind of weird.
Release. Yeah.
But no, that dude gets blocks. He plays tough. They're going to be a sick team for years. I mean,
yeah, I think you're probably right. I think Monty is the
60
ultimate.
wins. And he could have had it last year. I mean, last year it was all about narrative. New York's a huge market. Tibbs turned around a shit culture in his first year. Yeah. And
turns out he barely did. Turns out he didn't.
Being a 4 seed in the East.
Turns out things kind of broke our way. Turns out we paid a guy who's only all NBA in empty gyms. Turns out that's what we did. Who couldn't handle the fucking pressure of the Big Apple,
brother.
And the
pressure. He's going to bounce back next year. RJ Barrett is going to be a special player, a special young man.
You're right. I think you're right about RJ.
Do you? Oh, yeah.
I do. Of course I do. Don't you think though? Sometimes when RJ plays without Julius, it looks better. Julius is a fucking lane clogging ass motherfucker, dude.
But he shouldn't be, because Julius is such a good shooter when he's there. No, he's had a rough shooting year, but last year what he did was insane. I think we got away from our identity this year by adding Fournier and Kemba Walker, and I think that really just set us back. Is like our identity was tough-minded defensive play, and you need two-way players to win at this level in the NBA. And we added two one-dimensional players who weren't good at their one dimension.
But do you think...
Like Fournier breaking Starks' record hurts me.
Maybe but that's a great point though, because don't you think if they just had better fucking, more imaginative play calling, some Melo would have it, or some other Nick would already have the 3-point shooting thing? I mean, that's my issue is just like, it's not just the person. Well, it's a little bit the personnel, because you're saying we need two-way players. Is that really who Julius is? Or is he a lane clogging, like, trying to do a little fake Sabonis stuff?
Well,
and
I think Julius...
I'd rather have a more wide-open offense in the NBA, especially if the player you're running it through is not some kind of defensive stalwart.
No, I understand what you're saying. I do think Julius still has a lot of value in the modern NBA because he's a great passer, and when his shot is cooking, I mean, that's a dangerous duo, to be a good shooter, a good passer, and a guy who can play. First off, because of our point guard situation, this guy's playing too much point forward, which is not his specialty. You're making, first off, Alec Burks is not
what he was doing last season, though?
Point guard. No, because we had Rose doing a lot of the point guard. We had Quickly doing more of the point guard. We had. I
don't know. Honestly, he played a lot of that. He played a lot of that elbow.
Alfred Payton was a
shut the fuck
was a ball handler.
You're not allowed to say Alfred Payton ever again.
Shut the fuck up, motherfucker.
You're not allowed to cite Alfred Payton.
Hey, I mean, Alfred Payton fit right in with that Suns culture. Let me tell you something, dude. Playing Alec Burks, who is a very good player
out of position all
it's
year.
Like using Al Pacino only in comedies.
Yeah. I have nipples, fucker. Can you milk me?
It's not what he's good at. Alec Burks is a really good role player. Yeah, he really is. Right. I really like Alec Burks. I hate watching him play point guard because it's not what he fucking does. It makes no sense.
And we have so many, and that's the best part, is like we have young point guards, you asshole Tibbs. I'm officially, look, I tried to get us a Knicks guest for this thing. I was too fucked up. I didn't ask them in time. People are going to be so pissed to hear we want to talk more Knicks, but I want more. I want to talk about how bad it is. I want to see where the pulse is on the fandom.
The problem is, we just, for some reason, in the most golden age of point guards, we've never had a good point guard. It's shocking. Our best point guard situation ever was, I mean, you're going to laugh, but it was when we had a combo of Raymond Felton and old-ass Jason Kidd. Because they just played smart. And that's really like, it shows you, man, like, you don't have to have the most talented guys if you just play high IQ ball.
Brunson, we got Brunson. How about, I kind of like that. So, we
can even be able to get Brunson is the question. And even Brunson, who I really like, he's not like a true point guard. He's kind of a combo guard type guy. He's not going to give you 7 assists a game. He'll give you 5 or 6.
No, he might. On a team without Luka, he might.
That's a fair point.
He's the point guard, he might.
Maybe. I mean,
I think he's been kind of shoved into that role because he plays with Luka. I think he actually is a pretty good straight up point guard.
I would love Brunson. I also think, if we have a combo of Brunson and then we get a healthy Rose who's like more of an off the bench guy again.
Have some Rose.
That's a really nice situation.
Also,
honestly.
if we fall into the mid whatever, like all the Kentucky connections the Knicks have, maybe Ty Washington, we get him. I kind of like him. He's got a cool name.
I just want a point guard. I mean, I remember it was like in the late aughts. I remember our starting point guard was Chris Duhon. I was like, this is crazy. Like all the good point guards in the NBA were starting Chris Duhon. He had a 20-assist game once, but other than that, he was like,
fuck every Duke player and fuck Coach K for continuing to win. Why can't we knock that piece of shit out?
And you look at Duke players, and there's a lot of great Duke NBA players right now. It's really, it's hilarious.
Because he became just as crooked as everybody. It must feel bad to be Calipari and somehow Coach K out Italianed you, because they're just bribing those children. to play for
you know,
Coach K is
Kentucky
dropping
and
the
Duke
bag.
players are, I would say, the two most impressive NBA.
It used to be Kentucky had a run though, and Duke fucking did. I mean,
well, Kentucky had a run, but I mean also, back in the day,
you're right, Duke has been crushing it.
Duke's been crushing it, right, with RJ. If Zion's healthy, you got Tatum, you got Kyrie, a lot of great players. But Kentucky really has an amazing John Wall, Devin Booker, Davis, Boogie.
But the recent
Julius is Kentucky. The
recent guys have all been like, yeah, I mean,
Maxey, he's Kentucky.
True, that's true.
Quickly is Kentucky.
Quickly, our boy in Miami, Tyler Hero.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of dude. That's pretty. Those are impressive young players.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, but I just think, the point is I want Coach K to lose. I think he's a fucking crook. Duke can suck my dick. They're all fucking pieces of shit. If you root for Duke, your dick is small. Yeah, that's pretty much.
I like that St. Peter's kids. That little dude with the giant hair and the mustache.
Yeah.
I love a dude with a tiny white point guard with a mustache who you're like, how the hell is this guy making shots?
And they're all just Jersey and New York guys. It's awesome.
Oh, and that coach was in the '96 McDonald team. Did you see that? He won the MVP. He played next to Kobe.
No, he's awesome. He played for I think Seton Hall. He was the last Jersey team to get to the Sweet 16. He was the point guard of. And then he was the coach of the next one. That's pretty fucking sick.
He's tiny for he's not a tall guy.
Yeah, good for him. That guy's gonna fucking cash out. This run literally earned this guy fucking probably $100 million. This Sweet 16 run. Well, over the course of his career, yeah, he'll probably sign a big. I mean, this guy's young. He's a great coach. He took this team to the fucking Elite Eight. Are you kidding me? Like that's.
Well, he's clearly a good coach, and it was fun. That was a good game. I mean, oh man, Ivy's going to be a good pro too. Did you watch him?
Yeah, he's good.
That guy has just got that like superstar thing where you're like, oh, this dude can get up and shoot over anybody.
Yeah. I mean,
it's a good draft class. The Knicks I really wish they were a little worse this year. This is a tough no man's land to be in.
I know. We got to tank, baby. We got to fucking
It just sucks to be such a middling, to just get a fucking 10 or 11 seed is so disappointing because it's like you're not competing, but you're also not going anywhere.
Yeah. I mean, right now we're still 12.
No, I believe we're 11 right now.
I'm on Tankathon.
Really?
It ranks us opposite.
We're a half game ahead of the Wizards though right now, which we should not be.
Yeah, that's true. That's annoying. So I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, we're behind the Wizards.
The worst teams than us in the East right now are the Wizards, Pacers, Pistons, and Magic, which you're like, come on.
Yeah. Let's get.
Because I think they're all way worse than us. That's what's annoying.
And I know. And we're fucked.
And then
12 is a horrible place to be too. Picking.
The teams that are ahead of us, it's funny. It's like all the teams that are worse than us are way worse than us, and all the teams that are better than us are way better than us. It's such a weird because it's like who's ahead of us? The Hawks, who are just way better than us.
Yeah.
The Hornets, the Nets, the Cavs, the Raptors.
Everyone has a much brighter future.
Well, yeah. I mean, the Cavs have like such great young. I mean, like who wouldn't want Garland and Mobley as part of their core for the future? Or Scotty Barnes for the Raptors,
I know
it's tough. I mean, I'm very high on Barrett, but like I'm worried about some of the other young guys. I don't know what's going to happen with Mitchell. I really do like Mitchell, but he's got to be more consistent if we're going to pay him. And also, it's a weird position to pay, as you've said, for the modern NBA, a kind of athletic big.
Yeah.
I do like that he's so athletic. He's out there blocking threes, though. I mean, that there's value in that.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, he just hasn't stayed healthy. He hasn't been able to stay on the court, and I think a little bit of what he does, if it's a high price tag, just isn't worth it. That's just kind of how. If I was a team like the Hornets, maybe I would take a flyer on him because they really need defense at center.
Right.
If the price was right,
you have an elite point guard with that guy.
Yeah, oh my God, he would eat the fuck out of it. Yeah, exactly. That would be a nice landing spot for him, but
that's almost like poor man's like Lob City because you've got Bridges and Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah. That's nice.
I mean, you remember the dunks with DeAndre and Blake were just
insane, dude.
That was one of the most must-see TV teams.
It was insane. You watch those highlights now, and you're like, oh my God, there's certain things where you're like, well, yeah, every year players just get more athletic, they get better.
But DeAndre was a freak. I mean, everyone talks about Blake.
Yeah.
But DeAndre was a fucking freak.
Yeah, DeAndre before he definitely lost some athleticism here, and it is weird to see him like this, where he's basically a laughing stock. It sucks because he was like out of his mind good.
I remember,
although a little overrated, still a little overrated in my opinion.
But dude, when Blake was out, I remember he was putting up like 39 and 22 games, like a lot. Yeah. There were games where you're like, this is insane. And then he'd have like 5 blocks too. I mean, he had some seasons where you're like, dude, these numbers are silly.
Yeah. I mean, he honestly was the perfect, like, if he played right now, he would honestly be the best. Because the 2 bigs you want, the 2 5s you want is a guy who can shoot or a guy who can defend and roll to the rim. He was the best version of the defend and roll to the rim center you could fucking ask for. He was fucking insane. So, but yeah, he's definitely not that guy anymore.
And he was an elite rebounder. Don't forget. I mean,
absolutely.
He's 15 boards a game on the Clippers. That's fucking insane.
No, I know. And but you know,
yeah, he played 82 games a couple of times. That's crazy.
But yeah, you see those highlights and you're like, those guys are more athletic than most of the league now, and that's kind of cool to still, you know.
Well, I mean, yeah, who's the prototype for that type of dude now is Gobert, right? And he's not more athletic. He's stronger and bigger, but he's not more athletic than.
I don't think he's the prototype. I think honestly, you would want a guy that's a little more balanced than Gobert. But I see what you're saying, like a
Marc Gasol type.
No, that's what I'm saying. DeAndre is the prototype. Like you would want that version of DeAndre. Like right now, it's I don't know who's like a pure, but that's that's just the style you can play. And then you see it where it's like. And that's also a great style to play with a very good point guard. So it's like, Anyway, so I guess what I'm saying is if you're Mitchell Robinson, you should try and go to the Hornets, man. It might really help your career because it might make you look a lot better. Yeah,
well, we'll see who pays him. I mean, I don't know who's offering him a huge contract. That's really the question.
It might be a pride thing, though, dude, which like if the people that already know me don't want to give me a huge deal, then fuck them, I'll at least like change or something. You know what I mean?
But he's really in. I think he's into the Garden. I think he is into being like a New York guy because I remember he like wants to be. He wants to be like a comedian type. He really like wants to be.
Hilarious.
He wants to be like a personality type guy.
Right.
He's a funny dude. He's like goofy, Yeah. So I do think like a big market suits him. And I don't know if Charlotte will excite him. I think if he were to leave us, it'd be for a big market.
Okay, you think he's thinking of his daytime TV career after this?
A lot of guys are thinking about life after basketball, brother.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You ain't wrong about that one, pal.
But I do. I mean, like, look, if the price is right, I like him. I like how athletic he is. I like the dunks. It's kind of just like, what's our plan? I feel like we're just like, we don't have a plan is the problem.
Yeah. Well, hopefully the plan is just like, don't trade draft picks unless you have to. Take a measured approach. Maybe they'll see what happened here and. I would honestly play the young guys even another year and just kind of like see what you got.
Well, will you play Cam Reddish a lot next year too? I mean,
play Cam Reddish
because Cam was like, what do we have with Cam? We don't know yet, right? Yeah. I mean, he showed us some flashes before he got hurt where I was like, I like this dude a lot. I really did.
Yeah, and I think what this season has shown us is that trying to make the push, trying to avoid the full tank. By competing in the playoffs immediately and signing some stopgap veterans, and then hopefully being able to add top-tier talent over top of that we should abandon that we should actually try and develop some in-house talent, try and get a good draft pick, and then when we're ready to make the move with a clean cap sheet and a better reputation as an organization, maybe, this is a 3 years out thing, which sucks, but I don't want to see some veteran coming in and getting point guard minutes. Next year. I don't. I want it to be a young guy or somebody who's part of the future.
Well, Brunson's a young guy. So.
That's what I'm saying. Somebody who we're signing to be a part of the future.
No, I'm with you, man. I don't – I mean, like, I love Derrick Rose. I hope he's part of the bench. I hope he's like our sixth man.
Exactly. Yeah. And he still has value as like sixth man, also veteran, mentor, all that kind of stuff. I'm not saying we shouldn't have a functional team. I'm just saying, like, the emphasis should be put on the young guys. And and we don't have to tank. Let the young guys play as good as they can, but let's keep it the fucking young guys. Taj's minutes have to go down. They can't go up next year. Anyway, we'll see. Fuck. What do you got going here the rest of the day, Sam? we got.
Gonna get lunch with my mom, and then I'm.
That's cute.
I don't know, man. I haven't seen her in a long time, and then spots tonight at the Cellar. You know.
Nice. I'm trying to decide where to take my brother for the final lunch. They him and his friends, we all got so fucked up. I guess the guys that weren't in that extra let's keep getting fucked up at 3 a.m. crew, I guess maybe they got a little bit of an earlier start than us. But they already like Ubered to Manhattan and they're just walking around. But I'm trying to figure out where to meet them for lunch. You gotta pace
yourself, man. Yeah. Well, so many options. A lot of good Sichuan Chinese in Manhattan too. Also, Rochester this weekend, Salt Lake City in a couple weeks. I'm back on the road, baby. I'm pumped.
Oh yeah, I should fucking plug actually because I'm gonna be in Atlanta this week actually. This Friday and Saturday. Tickets are almost sold out. Go get those, and then I'm going to Toronto on the 15th. Those tickets are 2 shows are already sold out. 1 is selling really fast. And I don't think I'll be able to add another one because it's at a real theater, not some shitty comedy club that's open constantly. So buy those tickets if you're a fucking Raptors fan. Hopefully the Raptors are playing. I would love to fucking. I would love to go to a game there. Yeah, I'm like kind of
praying for those 2 p.m. games on the road in the playoffs so you can catch a.
I know. Shit, I'm in Providence. Should I even try and go to a Boston game? Anyway, root against them. So anyway, folks, we'll see. Shit keeps shifting like we're talking about. It's a great, beautiful time of the season. It's a delicious time. We will be back less hungover, less still high on Delta 8 edibles, and ready to break down what the end of the season holds on the Patreon this week. We'll talk to you soon. We love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
They talk about